Okay. Hopefully everybody I hope everybody can hear me. Just let me know if I sound okay. And hey, what's up, Dick? How you doing? Lenny, Dylan, Oregon D. Hello everybody. I appreciate everybody coming together on such short notice. Guardian Matrix, hello, Dead GBK, Jim Jones, hello. I'm hoping everybody can hear me because my screen is kind of blank. So hopefully I'm not speaking into the mic for nothing. So what is it all about? Hey, the reader. Hi, Mel. Lanessa, hello. You were notified. You were notified. Awesome. Can you guys hear me okay? Making sure everybody can hear me because my screen's not showing if I'm live or not. So you can hear me. Yes. All right. Great. So, all right. What this is all about. Perfect, guys. Thank you so much. So, what this is all about, it's all hanging on one sentence. We've had a major breakthrough for the Mandela effect, for confirmation, for UAP, UFO, the whole thing pulling it together. And it's all pivoting off the idea that my anonymous source was telling me, my anonymous government contractor was telling me that it's always in my face. It's always in front of me, right? It's always in my it's right there in front of me. So he sent me a link, and it was of Luis Elizondo on MSNBC, and he's being interviewed by someone, and they're talking about the downed alien craft and the technology of the craft and the metals and everything. And that's the part of the technology that is the confirmation of the technology. And with this confirmation of the technology, or confirmation of where we are in this process, I was breaking down, there's confirmation, and then there's going to be disclosure. So right now we're in that process of confirmation. And I don't know what it was about the video, but I went over and over and over and over again. And I've talked about the CIA FOIA document, the gateway document, over and over and over again. And that's when I started to notice things like patterning and truly what patterning meant. And you can read patterning in the document. And it's just 3 or 4 sentences that get you. Just like when you go to page 27, be intellectually prepared to react to possible encounters with intelligent non-corporeal energy forms with time-space boundaries are exceeded. And just like with patterning is bending reality to your will as long as you follow the rules. There are rules to this, right? So where am I going with this? Where am I going? This is well-worn territory, right? All of this is well-worn territory. We know what patterning is. We know the CIA is doing it. We know the government's doing it. We know that they're clicking out. We know about all of those things. We know we're in the process of UAPs and UFOs being part of the public, dialogue. So what was it about the video? And the video is simply, Mr. Elizondo just going over and over again about what the technology, about what he can and can't say. But then finally it caught me because I'd listen to things, or I read things over and over and over and over again, because I'm almost convinced that I have this idea. You can take one piece of literature, and if you read it over and over again, you can gain all the knowledge of the world. And I think something like this could transfer to digital technology. If you do it over and over and over again, you're going to see something different each time. And it's almost as if it is a mini Mandela effect, because the words will change because they'll mean something different to you in different parts of your life. I've done that on purpose. There'll be William Burroughs books that I'll read at different parts of my life, and I mean something completely different than whenever I read them before. Was that a Mandela effect? Or am I in a different dimension, or whatever it means? But what Mr. Elizondo said was this. He said, we began to realize it's all a manifestation of potentially a single technology. right? You hear it the first time, seems pretty innocuous, right? We began to realize it's all a manifestation of potentially a single technology. And this is in reference to what craft, bits of craft. Are these beings come from different dimensions? Are they coming from different? Where are they coming from? What do they want? And it doesn't matter because it's all a manifestation of the same technology. It's manifestations of the same technology. And yet you would imagine this complicated craft. And my contact kept telling me it's right in front of you. It's right in front of you. And then we go to Tom Campbell or Bruce Lipton. And I put that link in here because I have it on the community tab, but I put it in here. Really listen to what they're saying. Listen to what they're saying. The Tom Campbell idea is that consciousness comes first, and then everything else comes from consciousness. Bruce Lipton is saying that we're sort of this series of just single cells or single nodes, and they have these little antenna, and then from some other place they get their instructions. But either way, there's a harmony to both of what they're saying, and it works beautifully. And it all comes down to the point of you yourself, the pure you. You're not here. You're manifesting here. You're manifesting in this vibrational frequency. You're manifesting in this vibrational frequency with rules, just like with patterning. And if you then you cross-reference the document of patterning, right? You cross-reference the rules with patterning, and there are rules to how you can pattern and bend reality to your will. That's what patterning is. Like you're a superhero and you've got a big piece of pipe and you bend it to your will. You are bending, you are Jack Parsons, and you are pulling from the muse. Just and you are pulling that intercontinental ballistic missile down from nothing, or just sticking your hands inside of a comic book and ripping it out of the pages of that comic book. What is that? That's patterning. What are they talking about? All these rules, it's patterning. And then it hit me. We began to realize it's all a manifestation of potentially a single technology. Well, if it's a manifestation of a single technology, then it's a manifestation of a single rule. And if it's a single rule, then that rule has one or a limited set of particles that are rearranged over and over again. And that is what springs forth. And that's where you get your tetrahedrons. That's where you get your shapes. That's where you get your 55, 144, 233, all of the Fibonacci numbers. That's where you get sacred geometry. It's all the same thing. It's one single particle. It's one single particle expressed in an infinite number of ways. It's simple and it's easy. It's simple, it's easy. It's not even algebra. It's basic math. And they're all saying the same thing because they're all manifesting in a way in which they're all patterning. And that's why reality will bend to your will, as long as you know what the rules are and as long as you understand that it's all one particle. It's all one thing, and it may express itself in different ways. Bob Lenza too, his biocentricism. So the hit parade is we've got Elizondo, we've got Bruce Lipton, Tom Campbell, Bob Lanza, biocentricism. They're all essentially saying the same thing. Then we've got the FOIA document, and that's how it all pulls together. And somehow in the mix of all of these things, what we see as a Mandela effect or a distortion simply is a rearranging of those particles, of that particle, how it's expressed in a way that's unfamiliar to us. That's what we're looking at. It's all the same thing. And it all fits together. We began to realize it's all a manifestation of potentially a single technology. Well, if it's a single technology, then that technology, regardless of how it's manifested, in terms of the rules of the pattern technology that there is, and it's kind of funny, no matter what, it all boils down when you remove the facade, when you remove the sheen, it all boils down to the same thing in the same way. You can call it what you want. You can call it magic, you can call it science, but what it is they abide by the same rules of they want you to be able to repeat it inside of a vacuum and in different environments. It's all the same thing. I got to get Dr. Lenny Time on here too. I got to get him on here. I got to. He just emailed me. I'm going to email you back. We're going to get you on here. I need to know. So it's all one pixel. And then it can express itself in an infinite number of ways. And then you have a consciousness. And that consciousness, does it have a number of pixels? And then you can bend it and turn it as long as there's some sort of, I don't know, like a mathematical calculation where we're all almost like derivatives on the market. We're all elemental derivatives, like the derivative markets or something, you know? And I know a lot of people hate finance, but there's something about the way in which Gann knew and understood. He was a magician in his own way with finance and money, because there's something about those kinds of mathematics, particularly Fibonacci mathematics in finance, and the way it moves, and you can understand it, and the cycles that repeat. There are 55-minute, 144, and 233-minute cycles. You can do that at a day level, and there are different charts, and there are different patterns in finance. And if those patterns are expressions of a vast number of human beings moving in the same way, almost the beauty of how a flock of birds, they'll be going in one direction, and instantly they all know to turn. That magnetism, it turns beautifully. And it's all put together. And that's because it's right in front of us. Here it is. Your shoes, the tree, unknown parts inside of your car, the computer processor. When you get down to it, it's all the same. It's all the same thing. And were you to remove all of the things within this thin band of vision, this thin band of that we call reality, all of it would be expressed the same way. And imagine it just all being gray. And then suddenly it just moves in and the colors bleed in. And then suddenly 3D bleeds in. And suddenly we're all making up these rules together. And then suddenly you have these major corporations or PR firms or Hollywood and all those things, and they're all telling us, this is what's possible. This is what isn't possible. We're going to inoculate you this way and that way. And before you know it, you have a mass number of birds, and whoosh, they're whooshed. They go that other way automatically because they want to be told. I want to be told. Everyone wants to be told what to do. You all do. I do. I want to be told what to do, because I'm hoping someone knows more than I do, so I know I'm doing the right thing. That's what I want to do. That's what's happening here. And it's so funny. We act as if UFOs are from out there, and they're not. The only alien thing about them is they're going to use those particles to express themselves in a way, or excuse me, they're going to manifest in a way that's alien to us. That word, it's alien to us. That's what this is about. That's right, Lena. So we could work as a collective. And in fact, if that's part of what Bruce Lipton talks about, is a more collectivist way. And I don't mean collectivism in like political terms, in terms of like communism or that kind of collectivism. I'm talking about something much more profound. He talks about an individual cells that are working together inside of your body. Your body is a community. And those cells are working together. as independent contractors working together, like those birds that suddenly turn. They all know how to turn and work together. And when they turn and they work together, you have something of beauty. You have a moment of beauty. That's a human being. That's the lifespan of a human being. And that's what we have right here. And that's what we have together in this community. We're all vibrating on that same frequency. We're all taking our sets of pixels, and we're moving this thing. We're moving the needle, and we're changing it together. So the only thing alien about these aliens is that they're manifesting their technologies in ways that we're not used to. That's all this is. And perhaps the next step for us will be not a political collective, but something I don't have the capacity yet to imagine, because I had to watch a video about 30 times to even understand one sentence of what this man was saying. So that's where I'm at in this thing. And I've had to read and talk about the CIA FOIA document now for now going on 3 months. And I've probably read this thing 100 times at this point to understand that it all comes down to one. It's just, that's it. It's one pixel on the screen. It's one particle. And we are imagining that we are here. And it's all one particle. That's it. One. And there's an infinite number of ways that it can express itself, as long as you are within some kind of massive rule book, an infinite rule book. What was that book? Infinite Jest. We need to learn to listen to our intuition, Lisa. That's absolutely it. Our inner tuning forks. Well said. Well said. Well said. It all synchronicity. Yes, Mel. Yes, Mel. Perfect, Mel. Perfect. I had to get that out there as soon as it hit me like a bolt of lightning. I am lit up. So that's what it is. That's what's happening. And I've only begun to even explore this when I discovered patterning, and I discovered we weren't alone, and it was related to the Mandela effect, and that rock hitting the pond, and that ripple as it goes out, and the 2012 thing, it's all there and it's all related. The reset, I was talking about a reset and I didn't even know it, and that's because it was my tuning fork. It was a synchronicity, a duality, all of those things, and it's all the same. What a dream, right? What an odd dream. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and end this. If you could go over to Michelle's opinions. Her daughter recently passed away tragically. And I would, if you could, they had to pay for an expensive burial and other things. She has links over to help with that. And she's a member of this community. She's an active member of this community. And if you could go over to Michelle's opinions, she has links on the she has a picture show with her daughter in there, she's no longer with us. So I want to thank you all. Let's get those thumbs up. Go over to Michelle's opinions, and let me see those thumbs ups, please. But there's super chats too. All right, I'm out of here. I got to figure this thing out. I've got to absorb this, and I want to talk to Tom Campbell, Bruce Lipton, Bob Lanza. I have to talk to these people. I've got to know. I've got to understand. Yes, that's right, Linus. I can't imagine. Yeah, I was in an accident too when I was 17. Drunk driver. That's how her daughter passed, and I walked away, fortunately. So anyway, yeah, right. 22 likes. We have 71 people watching. We should have 71 likes. Please, everyone, please. 27 likes. There we go. It's like the stock market. Hello. All right. Anyway, so I'm jumping off now. Hopefully in the future, there'll be more likes. One pixel, one particle, and an infinite number of ways to express it. And go to 6 minutes. I think I have all the instructions below for the interview, but watch the whole interview. Watch the whole interview. All right, all right. I think that's it for now. I didn't want to. I just wanted to get that out. At this point, I'm getting bursts of these things out, and I've got to get it out. So I'll see you tomorrow on the Lost and Found bin. Well, obviously we'll have so much to talk about.